There are very limited amount of achievements that society tells us that we can be proud of. And as someone who used to be a super harsh perfectionist, type A person, overachieving, I did not have a feeling of being proud for a very long time. But today, I am here to tell you some things that are very unusual to think about as successes and that I'm actually proud of right now when I learned how to do it. So the first thing that I am very proud of myself is that I did not become bitter in very, very bad times. If you've been through a lot of tough times, yet you still are at the point where you are not bitter, you are not hurting other people, you are not like so sour, that's achievement to me to be proud of. The second thing I'm so proud of, because it's such a radical act of self-love, but it goes completely against what society portrays as very important. When I was in that age, like 18 to 25, the uni age, I put my mental health as the highest priority. When I 18, 19, something like that, I hit my rock bottom. I was doing so badly when it comes to mental health, and I saw so many people pouring energy into unis, into education, and that's amazing. If it's something that interests you, that's so great. I'm so happy for you. But for me, at that point in life, I poured my energy into my mental health. I am so grateful that I set such a strong base in my life, because right now I feel so secure in myself, doing something for myself that will improve the quality of my life forever, rather than going with something that everyone was telling me to do. I went so against a lot of people that expected me to go a certain way, but I knew what's important for me and I was there for myself. And I stood my ground, even though it was very hard. So, time to be proud. Third point, very much connected to what I just said, is building my life based on who I am. Building a life that resonates with who I am, how I want to live. I am a person who loves to live slowly. I don't like to rush. I don't like to hustle. And I'm still in a process of creating the life that will be just so aligned with who I am as a person. I do very conscious moves through my life, very conscious choices. Even when I feel like something is off and I don't really like it, I am preparing my ground for moving elsewhere, forward, or stepping back. This is what I'm very proud of. I really pay attention to what kind of emotions I have. And if you are able to do this, I am so happy for you. Number 4 is the ability to live abroad. I live abroad in Netherlands for 4 years and a bit, and sometimes I still have the moments when I'm like, whoa, I live abroad. That's super crazy. You know, sometimes I don't even realize how many things and obstacles I actually had to overcome. But I just don't really think about it. I just go for it. I'm just establishing my life here. And I am super proud of myself that I was being able to do it. And if you moved abroad, you know what I'm speaking about. It's completely new surrounding, new culture. And for me, it was still in the EU, you know. So there are people who move from Asia to the Netherlands, for example, and then it's a completely different thing, but still the completely different world where when you grow up in one country, you're taught from being a child how everything works, and all of a sudden you just appear in a completely new country and you just need to learn everything by yourself and you need to figure everything out. And it's quite tough, but I handle it very well, so pat on the back for me and for you as well if you moved abroad. So that's another thing to be proud of. And number 5 is that I learned how to relax, and that was such a huge thing for me. I needed a lot of time to learn this, and I was always overstretching myself. And as I said, I have autism. I feel very overstimulated a lot of times, and I was never really paying attention. I also did not know for a very long time, but I was never paying attention to my energy level, and I was always overdoing it. Recently, I really learned how to slow down, how to take my time, how to check what kind of energy I have. And I think, when you are in fight or flight for very long and then all of a sudden you can relax and you feel safe and you have the space to do it, then you just sleep. Like I was just like, for the past year and a half, I was just like sleeping, napping, recharging, and I felt it so enormously. I'm very proud that I gave myself the space to do this. And I know that if you are going through this, it's very difficult because you always feel like you have to be productive, and that like if you rest, that you lose your time, and it's something very difficult to handle. And also like, it's not just like because how you grew up, but it's built in society that you always have to hustle and always have to go forward and always have to grow. But no, you have to chill sometimes as well. Between the periods of growth, there have to be periods of chill, of relax, of slowing down and reflecting. I learned this, and I'm incredibly happy and proud that I was able to do so. So that will be it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And what are you proud of? Let me know in the comment section below, and see you in the next one. Bye!